Hello and welcome to the Otaku Network podcast. My name is Steve.
And I'm David.
We are into week 13 of the 2025 summer season. This is it. We're done. We have made it.
Whoop, whoop. Quick, get the streamers.
Final episode of the Summer Hikaru Died, as Hikaru resolving to return himself to the mountain. Before he does so, he kind of wanders around a little bit building memories. Sako kind of suspects something and excuses herself from the morning assembly and wanders back into their classroom to find Hikaru reminiscing lovingly. And she once again questions his true identity, at which he admits that he is not Hikaru and that she's safe, even though she needs to really stop pestering him because he's upholding his promise to Yoshiki to no longer hurt her. After he admits that Hikaru is dead, and she breaks down as her grief overwhelms her, he comes to realize that his existence has been artificially prolonging the mourning that should have already completed for everybody around Hikaru. The following day, the first day of summer, he joins Yoshiki running some errands. After those are done, he suggests going to the sea. While at the sea, he lays out to Yoshiki his plan to just go away, at which point Yoshiki loses it and begs with him and argues against him leaving because he needs him desperately. Internally, Yoshiki is hinting that the person that he presents to everybody is a lie and a falsehood. There's something dark and evil about him. Standard moody teenager stuff we could guess, perhaps. After a lot of pleading and crying and just ugliness, Hikaru decides to change course and stick it out with Yoshiki for the time being. And before the two friends can revel in their continued camaraderie, even though it's one of supernatural and natural, Tanaka approaches them because he's been following them. Earlier in the episode, he had gone to the Takeda residence to update him about his job. And he's come to the conclusion that Nanuki-sama does not exist, and the members of the village for the past couple of centuries have been confusing things. And there's really no need for them to do their ceremonies. There is something he has to deal with, and he's hoping dealing with it will allow the village to remain safe for the immediate future. And that's where we end, with confirmation that a season 2 will be coming out at some point. I suspect what we got is probably the first 4 volumes of the series, because the series is 8 volumes long. I don't know when we're going to get a second season, maybe next year. I don't think they've made that concrete yet, but we're getting a continuation of the story. And so far, for now anyways, that is The Summer Hikaru Died.
Good soup. I really wanted to subtitle this episode, The Summer Hikaru Died, Bratting with a Hell Entity, because they keep calling each other brats, and I'm just like, stop.
I'm glad that we didn't rush the ending.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're getting a continuation and conclusion of the story in its own right with another season.
Did you notice when they were on the train?
That it was all...
That it was real.
That they cut some corners of the animation this episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you notice the whole train was real?
Correct.
Even while they were sitting on, like when they were in frame, the train was real and they were just superimposed on it.
Correct. They did a good job of that, particularly in the scene where you can see Hikaru's reflection in the window.
Yeah.
It was good. They did a good job with it, but I'm going to lean into the idea of it was a cost-cutting measure.
I don't know. I think it was stylistic.
It probably is, but I'm such a pessimist.
We need to look back at the other time they were on the train to see if it was similar. Because they were on the train when they skipped the choir concert.
In the end credits scene where they're riding the train, was that a realistic background too?
Fuck, I didn't pay close enough attention.
I'll have to go back and look at that. It could have been.
Could have been.
I don't know.
What drew my attention to it was when it was doing the cuts of the train.
Okay.
And those looked real. So that's why I was like, oh, they just recorded being on a train.
Yeah.
Which they have done real life stuff before in the show. Like the chicken.
Yes.
So I forgot about the chicken. I'm hoping that's a stylistic choice to kind of try to ground this show in reality.
It could be. I mean, the artwork's really good in it regardless.
Also, did you notice that they're in the summer of 2020?
Yes.
It's an alternate 2020.
Yes. Largely, the world of anime and manga has ignored putting the pandemic within their narratives.
Alt history.
There was a shitty romance that came out earlier this year, whose name I don't remember, that part of the underlying plot of it was the beginning of the pandemic affecting the characters' decisions while they were finishing up high school. It was not a good anime, though. It was a bad reverse harem romance. That was way too melodramatic for its own good. It could have been a significantly better story if they would have gone certain directions that they didn't. So
you're saying that 100 Girlfriends That Really, 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 Really Love You is better?
Only because that is a mockery of the genre.
I know.
But this one, whose name I can't remember for the life of me, leaned a little too much into the K-pop generic otome fantasy. So it is what it is. Any more thoughts on Hikaru while we put this one to bed for the time being?
No, the episode I really enjoyed. A lot of solid points. It gave you enough of a line to be like, okay, there is going to be a second season, but I don't feel disappointed that this season is ended.
So do you think there's more to Yoshiki's internal dialogue than we would expect?
Probably.
Do you think maybe the thing that Tanaka is chasing is actually in Yoshiki?
The idea that Yoshiki is maybe the catalyst for all this is maybe Yoshiki was the one that died on the mountain.
No.
And this is all a fever dream.
No, Hikaru definitely died on the mountain.
Fever dream.
But with the way that they've been tiptoeing around connecting him to Nanuki-sama, it seemed very evident that he truly is not the target.
Yeah.
I've just felt that way for a long time. I could be way off mark, but now with this new development and...
You know how they referenced two different deities?
Yes.
They suggested that maybe Nanuki had evolved from...
Yeah. I don't remember the name. That was when they were talking
Uroichi?
with...
I think it was Uroichi-sama. Uroichi-sama, yeah.
Maybe.
But what if Hikaru is the older entity and Yoshiki is Nanuki-sama?
We'll just have to wait for season 2.
Yeah. And Yoshiki isn't actually human, and that's why all the things are drawn to him instead of attacking Hikaru right away. Those entities only really go after Yoshiki or his sister, but maybe because he was in the house is why his sister got attacked by the wig.
Perhaps.
Okay. He is Nanuki-sama.
Well, we got to wait for next season because I guess my manga is going to be unread for a while still.
You read the first 4.
Yeah, I'll probably read once the story changes. I'll put it up. I'm like, no, done. We'll get back to this later.
As soon as you get to Tanaka handing off the thing, you're just like, and close.
The floaty.
Yeah, and close. Bookmark close. Great show. Great. I have not been let down by the show. I think at all this season.
Yeah, no, it was a really solid story front to back. Well paced. Good character development. I like that there apparently is going to be significantly more mystery.
Yeah.
Because last episode I figured, okay, we got one episode left. We have been given the mysteries we need to understand. Let's get to the conclusion. Not the case. Thankfully, I do enjoy that this is going to come back.
Same.
Moving on to a show that we very likely have now gotten everything we ever will.
Probably. City, the animation. The ultimate episode gives us the conclusions that we had kind of anticipated. We got the conclusion of Echan and Mitsuri. We got the wrap-up of the Mont Blanc trio Summer. But boy, howdy, was there an adventure in the end. We kind of got this really kind of adorable interaction between Nagumo and Nikura. Another summer has gone and passed, and now they have to wait for the next one. And Nikura asks Nagumo, did you find what you were looking for, the adventure you were looking for? And Nagumo looks and just kind of explains, this whole summer was a blast, which I was just like, aw, so cheesy. Then we get Matsuri looking for Echan, and who else but the idiot savant Adatara shows up and basically whisks her off on a not horse, to the airport to catch Echan before she leaves, where we get a relatively heartbreaking scene of the girls coming to terms with the goodbye that Echan tried to avoid, but Matsuri explained that it was relatively selfish of her to try to do that, because instead of both of them being sad together and trying to overcome it together, Echan decided to make it just her sadness and to hopefully have Matsuri hate her and forget about her. And the girls come to massive tears and work together to find a compromise on how they will try to see each other. And it was very, very heartwarming. I was buttered up. I was ready to bawl.
Well, not to mention this entire exchange was facilitated due to a few incidents of sabotage,
Yeah.
legal gray area actions
Yeah.
on the part of Nikura.
Wako.
Oh, Wako. Yeah, that's right.
And Riko.
And Matsuri's brother.
Adatara.
No, Matsuri's brother was part of that too, I thought.
No, it was Adatara.
Was it just Adatara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, it was just Adatara. He was the one that blocked the plane because he's an idiot savant. And yeah, Wako was the major mastermind, and she just used the two younger kids as
Facilitators?
Facilitators, yes. She was the grand architect of this scheme, which allowed those two girls to have closure to their friendship. Not closure, but closure to having a short distance friendship, and to now transition to long distance friendship, which was beautiful. And I would love anybody that's struggling with coming to terms with an impending long distance thing for a long term to watch this. You may cry, yes, but it also gives you hope of a future where you still have that person. Highly, highly recommend. This whole season, just beautiful. And then we get the musical number where the Watanabes, Mr. Watanabe, the chef, gets a star in the mail and immediately thinks it is a Michelin star, and thus a huge musical number about how everybody's getting raises or new stuff or tickets to England, and it's just this song and dance number where we ultimately, one, find out that it's not a Michelin star, and it's just a star from the cop that gives his badge star to anywhere he enjoys the food to. And then Mr. Adatara, the grandpa, comes out with a time machine, and the series ends with a gloriously large explosion that, of course, Nagamo caused, and it sends the entire population of City flying into the air. And with that musical number and them as the backdrop to City the animation, we end probably one of the greatest shows of this year so far.
100% best anime of the year. Season 2 of Dan was phenomenal. Season 2 of My Dress Up Darling was amazing. City was such a unique expression and adaptation of a fantastic source material that it stands head and shoulders above everybody else, regardless of the quality of their storytelling and animation. Like, we're never going to see anything like this ever again. This is a unique specimen in animation, and it was executed pretty much flawlessly. 100% anime of the year.
Would you argue that this is Kyoto Animation's magnum opus?
I don't know. I still like Nichijou better.
Storytelling-wise, yes. Art style. The stylistic choices in this show were head and shoulders better than a lot of things we've ever seen.
Yeah, correct.
The rolling camera shots, the picture-in-picture, the style choice alone. I could argue from a animation studio that their first ever thing was a cult movie overcame and just overtook any other art studio that I've seen in just stylistic choice.
One animation studio that's active that I can argue is even better stylistically. And that's
Studio Ghibli.
Science Saru.
Science Saru.
Yep. Significantly more expressionistic. Science Saru, from the ground running, has just been a top-notch art house studio that does mainstream. They did Dan. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken is a phenomenal anime. They were the animation studio for the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off series from last year.
Here's a question.
Devilman Crybaby.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, you had said Zenshu was anime of the year. Remembering that Zenshu exists in this year.
Yep. And second season of Orb.
You still argue that this is better than both of those.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that holds weight to that is the uniqueness of the product.
Okay.
It goes above and beyond anything else.
Could you also agree that
Zenshu
because of
is beautiful and it was a fun story. City is creative expression we rarely see in the medium of anime.
Yes.
The closest thing I can think to being so stylistically bold would be the series Kaiba. Like, that is probably one of the most unique anime I've ever seen. Cat Soup is a unique anime. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, But there's not there really isn't plot to City. We get really fun, and we're just seeing a snapshot of these characters' lives for a couple of months over a summer.
Yeah. Here's the argument that I want to make.
Okay. The
art style is unique, yes. And it's fantastic. And I really liked the content of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But, and playing a little devil's advocate here, what is the criteria for anime of the year? Like,
I think it's something that stand out.
Something that stand out.
Yeah.
So things
because in
things
anime,
that even suffer in like areas of there's not really a plot to this show, or there's not really
I don't think something needs to have a plot to be good.
Right. I'm playing devil's advocate.
In the idea of, does a painting need to have a plot to be appreciated and enjoyed?
Most of the time it has a point. A lot of paintings up until the Impressionists had a point. There was a story they were trying to tell.
Sure.
Like
a lot of them, particularly in Europe, were biblical. So many.
Or they were trying to bring a important topic to the limelight. There's a point to everything.
I don't think everything needs to have a point, but that's a side conversation.
That's how society functions right now. Is most things have a point and a reason. They're meant to tell and express the artist's or author's reason for something.
I disagree. I don't think everything needs to have a purpose that we study. I think we can just...
But that's your opinion.
Yeah. But I'm of the opinion, thought, direction that unless the creator of said object explicitly explains the methodology and the reasoning behind the artwork, it's conjecture.
Well, right.
It's conjecture.
But there could have also been that explanation, but it's gone because that person is...
Again, though,
pushing up daisies.
That's the realm of people who have art history degrees.
Well, right. We could argue about...
Correct. Zenshu's artwork is very beautiful, very polished. The story was a love letter to anime itself.
Yes.
Orb is an amazing historical drama. City is new ground when it comes to expression in animation.
Fair.
That's why I'm marking it as the best anime of the year. It was very fun. Loved it. Everything about it was top-notch. The voice acting. My biggest complaint would probably be I would have preferred the character design to not be as rough as it was. I would have preferred it to be as smooth and polished as we got in Nichijou.
Yeah.
Fine. Whatever. Did not really detract. But the strength of City and why it stood out so much largely is hinging upon the presentation, which was amazing.
Yes, I really love this show, but I don't know if it's my top anime pick of the year.
Sure.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in my opinion, I don't think it's the best.
Okay. I really loved the conclusion of Echan and Matsuri's storyline.
Yes.
The whole thing of where
I almost cried at school.
The whole thing of where Matsuri is trying to get her attention and Echan is just deflecting her at every point. And then she finally gives up and is like, look, you're ruining my plan for us to end on, hello, I'm meeting you for the first time. It was so cute. It was so beautiful. I hate musicals. And I kind of groaned a little bit when it did roll into the musical thing. The lyrical content and the fact that we just got the entire cast of the show showing up at opportune times was so beautifully put together.
Yeah.
I got a little bit nervous at the end when Grandpa Adatara came up with a time machine. Everybody's like, let's do the time machine. Everybody's trying to reverse everything. I'm like, no, let's not erase, all of the progress that all the characters have made, good or bad. And then it just blows up.
Yep. Nagamo screwed it up.
That was just a chef's kiss ending to the series.
I also like how Nikura's just giggling as the thing blows up because she's like, of course this happened.
Of course. You can't always get what you want in life. So you might as well just
accept it.
Enjoy the ride. Yeah, Nikura's got the right attitude.
I mean, like we talked about, the crime rate in City is probably
negative.
Yeah, like the violent crime rate is probably 0.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like
petty theft
or money laundering,
battery.
But like
invasion of privacy.
Oh God, yeah. There's a lot of petty crime.
Yeah, a lot of petty crime. But it's all done with love.
I think the death rate in that city is negative.
It is negative because remember, Grandpa Adatara came back to life. I'm going to miss the show, but man, it is time to start cracking into the manga. Unfortunately, City is not returning, as far as we understand. But we are going to get continuing season of Hikaru, and then eventually at some point, season 3 of Sakamoto Days. I think out of the three of them, Hikaru had the most concise story. Sakamoto Days shonened it up like it never could shonen before. For me personally, the first half of the season was more enjoyable. The second half of the season was tedious. And City is...
City?
It's not for everybody. There's a lot of people that just can't get down with gag comedy or like absurdist humor and just weirdness. This isn't necessarily a gag series, but man, I love gag anime. Grades, I guess. Hikaru. What would you give Hikaru? Knowing, obviously, that we're getting the second half of this story eventually.
Give it a solid B+. I would have wished it was a little more uncomforting at times because it just seemed like we didn't get enough of that.
Okay.
We didn't get enough of like the, ooh, I'm a little creeped out right now.
I too would give it a B+. I think it executed really well. For me, I never look for horror in anime or manga because it just never works. It can never scare me.
I'm not saying I wanted to just scare me.
So I don't expect anything to be shocking, honestly.
If the art director of the series hadn't said, we're going to turn up the creepy, make it spooky, and then, in my opinion, failed to deliver,
sure,
I think I would have been just fine and I could have given it at least an A-.
I think B+ is a good space for it.
Yeah.
Which means I'm going to give it a B+ as well. That's pretty much
said.
it. Yeah. Sakamoto Days. So the previous season I gave a C+. I'm going to give this one a C-.
Okay, that's fair.
I liked the potential of the pace of the story in the beginning, and then in the back half, it erased a lot of that.
I'm going to give it a B-. I've enjoyed the series a lot so far. I will agree that the plane and the test arc took a while, but I enjoyed it. But because of pacing, I will give it a B-.
City.
A.
I'm going to give it an A as well. So,
I liked it all around. There was just that little bit of a lull in episode...
Was it 10?
10.
10 or
that
9.
gave me the
Yeah, the pacing of that episode wasn't on par with the rest of them.
Correct. It was near perfection.
So, series that you have given A+ to Ramanaka Neko.
Of course I did.
Orb, and Zenshu.
I don't think you've given a single A+.
No. The only other series I've given an A to was Orb. I gave Zenshu a A-.
Okay.
I give Ramanaka Neko an S or no at A- as well. All right. Well, thanks for listening and joining us. Next season, we're changing things up a bit because next season looks bad, honestly.
Yeah, we're not sugarcoating it. We don't like any of those fucking shows coming out.
Yeah. None of the shows that would fit the criteria that we use for the regular podcast. So we are going to preempt the regular podcast until the winter season. So instead, we are going to be switching Anime Plus over to an older anime. We're going to do 2 episodes a week review of Gundam Unicorn, and then prepare for the return of Weekly Ranma as season 2 of the Ranma 1/2 remake kicks off. So beginning next week, Wednesdays Anime Plus will be Gundam Unicorn, and Fridays will be Weekly Ranma. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, particularly because we have a very special episode of the podcast coming out tomorrow, October 4th. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Let us know what your thoughts are on these 3 shows as they wrapped up their seasons, and we will check you guys next time.
See you guys tomorrow, technically.